Before I start, I want to note that 7 slides in 7 minutes seemed reasonable until I saw the FedEx that Francis and Charles ended up doing. So I'm going to speak really, really quickly and try to cover a lot of ground. For 1 minute, I want you to back up into all the series of decisions that led you to your college experience. So you heard about your university. You applied, you enrolled, you were admitted, you figured out where to walk on campus. There were courses, they were taught, you had instructional tools. You went through all kinds of academic advising. At the end, you graduated, you had a peer group you were connected to. That's your university experience. Let me introduce myself. I'm Beth Hollenberg. I'm the president of Everspring. And Everspring is a new company that offers end-to-end, full-service solutions for universities, traditional universities, that are seeking to bring their programs online. That's why I asked you to think of this full spectrum. What that means is that we bring both the seed capital to help universities start to move online, and then we build out various services within that full life cycle to enable the university to actually bring an on-ground bricks and mortar program all the way online, sourcing the students, helping the faculty. We partner with universities to fulfill their missions. We're looking to do this in a brand-enhancing, identity-enhancing way for the university. We may be a new company, but we are not new to the industry. We entered with the philosophy that in order to build programs online on behalf of universities, you have to know how they run. So our leadership team is made up primarily of functional experts and educational leaders who have had full responsibility for operating institutions and educational services, both online and on ground, in a variety of implementations. Our team comes from both not-for-profit and for-profit institutions, as well as from a variety of supporting roles, Accenture, Boston Consulting, Aon Hewitt. Our backer is a company named Accretive. They are a private investor that specializes in building companies that end up redefining the service standard in their respective sectors. So as all of you here today are talking about, we're at a critical juncture in education. People have been using the words like renaissance and revolution, and we believe that online education in particular is at a juncture, and we have a few takeaways from all the dialogues. This doesn't mean that everything's going to move online, but we're at a tipping point for education more broadly. And our takeaways are that online is here to stay and has arrived in one form or another, and that while the early leaders within that sector have shown us what's possible, we're only beginning to see what we can accomplish. And so that really, we believe as we move forward that a defining feature of universities will be their online strategy and their online programs, that they be choiceful about their strategy and that they deliver with excellence. What we're starting to see as you look at how universities lay out is that this is not a monolithic thing. Online is not one thing. There are a variety of paths a university can take to online education. On the left are the MOOCs, and the globally recognized research universities that have entered that. MOOCs are, just by way of reminder, largely not for credit, largely free. On the other end of the spectrum are the global campuses and the universities that have taken platforms online and used them to deliver online end-to-end, largely for credit, largely for fee across a multiplicity of departments. The innovation corridor in the middle, and I think of each of these as innovation corridors, are universities, highly regarded departments, flagship programs, sometimes flagship universities, that have taken a single program, school, or department and moved it online, also for fee and also for credit. And the challenge in this vertical is a really interesting one, because in order to build the level of support services that you need to deliver online effectively, you have to have scale. And that means that the university can't pick up the classroom and move it online. They have to actually change the model with which they're delivering. And if you look at the leaders in this space, they're essentially moving from online 1.0 to online 2.0, where online 1.0 is about a series of disconnected services, pockets of service excellence, dashboard reporting. And online 2.0 is integrated networks. It's whole schools, it's full departments, it's analytics like Charles was talking about. It's a robust experience. And what defines what we think is online 2.0 is that it doesn't operate as a single class, but as an ecosystem. And this is Everspring's ecosystem. I'll describe it very briefly. In the center are the students and faculty. The dark ring around it are the points in the student life cycle. The outer ring are the commercial systems that support it. The commercial systems are necessary but not sufficient. At each point in the student life cycle, there's a faculty counterpart that's supporting the student, and each of these components may or may not have a department on campus that integrate them. When you integrate them, you get an outstanding academic, intellectual, and social experience. They don't integrate themselves. When they're not integrated, faculty get miserable and students drop out. Very few universities can get this right online if they have come from being on ground. And that's where Everspring comes in. So we believe that each of the functions along the faculty and the institutional and the student life cycle are important, but that together you need not only a functional expertise to bring a university online, you need the ability to make those component parts integrate. Our service pyramid puts at the top the academic mission, the university's strategy, their admission standards, their academic core. That's a university's. At the bottom are the commercial systems that support online education. When universities move to put the top on the bottom, they get sorely disappointed because all of the middle, the analytics, the technology integration, the instructional design, the faculty support, the student orientation, all of that myriad of functional pieces comes together to deliver a student experience. Each of those is a niche, and each of those is an expertise, and it requires not only those pieces, but the ability to bring them together in a single, coherent, consistent, identity-enhancing way for a university. So Everspring brings a particular flavor to the way we design those component parts and the way we bring them together. Customized, we are seeking to work with only a few universities and to do so meaningfully. We don't matter, the university does, and so it would be highly customized in our implementation and our approach. We're consultative. We also used human-centered design, not often a term that's used in connection with education, but education needs to be consumable, accessible, intuitive, in all the same ways that when you turn on Amazon, you know where to go. Students need to know where to go and have the supports to get there. We are data-driven. We believe in the power of analytics and in weaving analytics in with academics and what that can do for retention and outcome and scholarship. And lastly, where we started, we believe in integration. We believe that no one component alone will lead to a successful experience, and if you don't have them all, we believe that you don't really truly fulfill the potential that traditional universities can bring within the online space. Thank you.